Hi everyone, Hadiya over here, and in this video I'm going to be explaining the exact step-by-step process I used to book my client Jacqueline 7 calls in 24 hours. Now without further ado, let's just get right into it. But if you're a coach, consultant or info seller and you want to learn how I can do the exact same thing for you, click the first link in the description below. So this is just some social proof. So we actually generated these calls for Jacqueline, 7 book calls. We got 50 DMs. Just so you know, she got 109 replies, and out of those 109 replies, 50 were interested and 7 booked the call. And this beats the industry average, because the industry average is basically I believe like 10% conversion out of 50 interested leads, but we actually went above and beyond and converted 14% off of those 50 DMs that booked a call. Now, the reason why those calls were booked, because those people were actually nurtured to Jacqueline's offer and they wanted to get started. Now, how we did this was quite simple. So first, let me just get my marker out, 1 second. So first, the primary objective was to secure fast results while building an ecosystem that will serve her. So we wanted to get quick wins, but at the same time, we wanted to create an ecosystem that will, while building an ecosystem that will serve her for a lifetime. Now, right when I onboarded Jacqueline, as you can see, in this story, I said I onboarded Jacqueline this week, helping her optimize her front-end acquisition system for a coaching offer. 2 long-form scripts ready to be executed on. See over here, these are the 2 long-form scripts. Personalized content strategy to do one thing: get inbound leads. Custom story sequence scheduled to nurture plus convert the warm traffic she already has. Now, while building out her YouTube ecosystem, we needed to capitalize on the audience she already has, because she has a good amount of audience. So instead, we needed a way to monetize the attention she's already captivated. Now, before posting the story sequence that was able to generate her 7 calls, we had to nurture her audience. So we did this by making a custom story schedule for her that she could execute on. Now, this was actually a game changer, because nobody likes being sold to. So once you actually nurture a person and then you present them an offer, they are much more likely to buy than if you just hard sell them straight away. So let me just give you a sneak peek of the story sequence. So this over here was the schedule I made for Jacqueline. The goal was to nurture plus convert the right people in her audience by building FOMO, using the emotion scarcity, and social proof plus trust. Now, why it works so well, I'm going to tell you more about it later onwards. But the Monday was basically showing client results and a hard CTA. But this was then just converted to just showing the client results, just to show people that the work she's actually doing for her clients is working out. Now, Tuesday was showing value, giving away value in her industry, and how she could help the people that are watching the stories. It wasn't really selling, it was just giving value, industry tips on to her people. Now, Wednesday was an inspirational personal story. We also did a Q&A, which basically she answered a ton of questions her audience had, and she also told about the mentorship she has. Now, Thursday was her own win, because obviously she practices what she preaches, so she had to actually show this to the people. So she did this by showing her own results, because a lot of people just show the results, maybe some of the results they're getting for their clients, but nobody really shows their own results. This just separates her from her market. Friday was a soft CTA. Basically, this is where she needs to actually give free resources, a YouTube video that she posted, or anything that would help her audience actually soften up to her offer. Saturday and Sunday were pretty flexible, and basically the entire story sequence was flexible, but Saturday and Sunday were especially flexible because we didn't want to keep on again and again telling her audience about her offer, since they already knew, but instead also showing her lifestyle, some unfiltered thoughts she had on being a female entrepreneur, since her targeted audience was females who wanted to start with their Amazon FBA business. After we onboarded Jacqueline and we gave her the story sequence, a story schedule, before I actually get into the exact story sequence you need to understand the importance of actually making story sequences and using it as a marketing mechanism in 2025. I mean, I know you're wondering, why do story sequences work well? Like, why was it able to generate Jacqueline like 7 book calls in 24 hours? What was the reason behind it? So basically, you need to understand 4 things. These are the principles of actually making someone sold to your offer. Number one is that when you're uploading a story sequence, it goes to a warm audience, and warm audience means a higher trust. People have a higher trust rate with you, so your followers already know, like, and trust you. I mean, that's why they follow you. And if they trust you more, then someone who would reach out, so basically they'd trust you more rather than someone reaching out to them and actually pitching their offer, because you're not the one selling to them, they're actually the one who are choosing to click on your stories, seeing your content, and seeing how you could potentially help them. Now, in this, you basically have your own set of leads that you can nurture and later down the line convert. So you basically have, like, it's a blue ocean offer. It's like a blue ocean offer, but instead of fighting for leads, you already have created your own set of leads. Now, the second thing is, which is extremely important, that story sequences, when done right, they can trigger emotions like scarcity and FOMO. And these emotions are actually high RSL emotions. So your stories create more anticipation and motivation. When the internal tension is created, it needs to be released. And how can it be released? By taking action, aka they booking in a call with you or DMing you. That's why it's so important to create story sequences that actually evoke these 2 emotions, scarcity and FOMO. Third one is social proof, because Robert Cialdini explains in the book Influence that social proof is the principle where people conform to the actions of others, especially in uncertain situations, assuming that if many people are doing something, it must be the correct way. Basically, there's a safety in numbers humans get. So numbers are something which can't be lied. Like, men lie, women lie, and numbers don't. So this really creates a sense of security and sense of safety for people to actually take the step on investing in your offer. And like I said, when you actually give social proof, like, this is how my client generated this much, I helped her or him generate this much, which we use in Jacqueline's story sequence, it allows the person to think that, okay, if it's working for them, why can't it work for me? Okay, and this offer is actually working for other people. Now, the last point is that you build authenticity and authority at the same time, because the story sequences we create, it's not too much authoritative or too authentic. It's right in the middle. Now, you need to understand, if you have too much authenticity, you're relatable, but you might not seem professional in a way that people might don't even know what your offer is or how you could potentially help them. However, if you're too authoritative, you're just impressive, but rarely people buy from people they can't relate to. So people don't buy from people they can relate to. People don't buy from people they can't relate to. Yes. So which means that you need to be relatable to a person in order for them to actually purchase your offer. With story sequence, you have a mix of both, which makes people soften up to your offer. Now that you know why story sequences work so well and how they're so important in 2025 and is such an untapped marketing mechanism, I'm going to show the exact story sequence we use for Jacqueline. First story we actually posted for Jacqueline was that we said big announcement, and this basically creates curiosity. Like, what is the big announcement? Like, what does she have to announce? Is it something I can be a part of or not? But she also added this text, which basically evokes curiosity. For example, my favorite downtime is laying in the sauna every day. At the moment, I'm trying to trim down before my last minute trip. I just booked last night to south of France next week. This also gives a bit of context of what's going on in her life, builds and creates relatability, which is one of the most important factors if someone needs to invest into you. So after this, the second story was, even with all of the traveling, my Amazon store is still printing 24/7, and this shows a screenshot to show that her she's actually doing the thing she says she's doing. Over here, a screenshot. Just look at my dashboard from this week, and over here she shows the dashboard because, like I said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So this just shows proof that her whatever she's doing is working. And this actually, even with all of the traveling, this is added because this is one of her audiences, her targeted ICP's dream situation, to travel and have freedom and all of that stuff. So she basically taps into more of the pain point, and shows how she's still printing while traveling. Now, in the next, she also prompts the viewer to look at the next story, which obviously, when you tell the viewer to do something, they will. Now, in the third story, she says, but it's not only just me who's making money. Just look at my student who's made 3,500 in just one day with one product. Now, this is a client interview she has on her YouTube channel, which does two things. It makes people click on her YouTube and actually search up for her YouTube to see how her offer actually and how her mentorship went for this lady. And it also just shows social proof that her thing is actually working for the people that join her mentorship. Her offer is actually working. So she shows that it's not only just me who's printing, like she's making money off of her Amazon store, and so are her students. Next story, which prompts the viewer to look at the next story. And in this story, she says, so if you're looking to live a life you know deep down you are deserving of in 2025, which basically this text is there to make the viewer think. Like, it's literally there to make the person think that you want to live this lifestyle. I know you do, and you are deserving of this, and I know you also think you are. So if you want to live the life you deserve, etc., etc., I'm looking to take on 5 new students who will be willing to work with me one-on-one to make their first 10K with Amazon FBA. This is your chance. Now, she basically motivates her viewers towards prompting them to the next story, like, this is your chance, this is what you've been waiting for. And over here, she explains the exact outcome she will help her students get, how many students she's willing to take on, and what mechanism is she doing with obviously Amazon FBA and working one-on-one with her. And in the last story, she says, for those girls, since her ICP is our girls who want to make 2025 their year, like for those girls who are actually serious and want to invest in themselves and want to grow in 2025, I can literally only take 5 students, as I'm busy running my own brands too. So act quickly and DM me, I'm ready. Now, the thing is that she's basically conversing like how she would converse to a normal human being. One of the most mistakes I see people running a story sequence is that they make it too robotic. So you just have to act like you're talking to a single individual and you're prompting them to take a certain action. So I can only literally take 5 students as I'm busy running my own brands. So this basically assures the girls that your mentor is actually doing the things she's teaching you. Now, this was it for this video. If you want to learn exactly how I can implement these exact systems and strategies into your business alongside other systems and strategies, click the first link in the description below.